Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'm sure everyone, whether they had a date or not, had a better night than Otis did tonight. SmackDown took place in Vancouver, British Columbia tonight. Of course, it's Valentine's Day. And we had some broken hearts on Valentine's Day because I read that Kathy Kelly, who's the announcer, or a backstage interview for WWE, she usually does NXT, announced she's leaving the company. That's a surprise. She's smoking hot. I'm going to miss seeing her. I just wanted to mention that. That's really unfortunate. I think she has a lot of potential. I think she's very good. Maybe she has a job at Fox, but that's unfortunate. I like her a lot. Anyway, you got to start the show, however, with Alexa Bliss, so you can't complain about that. You have Valentine's Day moment of Bliss, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out to host the show. They talk about their celebrity crushes since Valentine's Day. Nikki Cross guesses that Alexa Bliss's crush is Brad Pitt. What is this, 2005? It's 2020. Brad Pitt. Well, he's in his 40s now. They brought out their guest, and it's Carmella. Carmella talks about winning the Fatal 4-Way match last week and promised to defeat Bayley later tonight. Bliss noted that Carmella and Bayley had a close relationship but had a falling out in NXT. Bliss wondered why about Carmella and Bayley no longer being friends. Carmella blames Sasha Banks for her relationship with Bayley coming to an end. Since Banks came back, Bayley's been a different person. So it's interesting. She mentioned Sasha. Maybe we see Sasha next. Maybe I assume the way they built things up, I assume it's still Bayley Sasha WrestleMania. It could change, but I think that's where we're going. Anyway, Bayley interrupts. She gets in Carmella's face. She noted that she beat Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in a handicap match last summer. Bayley bragged that she can beat any of them easily. Carmella heard enough, and she challenged Bayley to have the match right here, right now. And they go to the ring, and Carmella marches. Bayley follows her, and opening match, a SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defends her title against Carmella in a surprisingly good match. Without question, there's not even a doubt in my mind this is the best match of Carmella's career. Carmella had a very good match with Bayley. I liked it. I can't believe how much I liked the match. I really enjoyed it. I was into it. I thought, there's no way Bayley's into Carmella. I mean, they gave it to her. She had the worst top right ever a couple years ago, but she's not going to lose to her. There was a part where Carmella had Bayley in that head scissors. Like, oh my God, is Bayley going to fucking tap? No, Bayley's not tapping. She was eventually able to get out of it. They have some near falls. There was a cool spot from the top rope. It got really exciting. Carmella kicks out of the belly to Bayley. However, after she gets at Bayley, Carmella starts to shed when she puts the code of silence and Bayley escapes the hold, and Bayley is able to roll up Carmella and she puts her feet up on the rope for the win. 1, 2, 3, Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship cheating. However, after that, Carmella shocked. Bayley attacks Carmella, continues to beat her down. Naomi makes a save, and she has her hair in an afro. It's all pink. I guess that's what she's going to do. I don't know if it's going to be an afro permanent or she's going to change every week. But Naomi comes out. Her and Carmella kick Bayley's ass. Naomi hits a kick, and then Carmella hits a super kick. Bayley goes down. They're setting up Saudi Arabia. Bayley's going to Saudi Arabia as champion at Super Showdown. And they go backstage. We see Kayla Braxton. We're not going to see Kathy Kelly anymore, right? We still got Kayla Braxton. I can't complain about that. Kayla Braxton, I'm good. Anyway, she interviews Bayley, and and Bayley says next time she's going to defend her title at Super Showdown, and it's going to be Naomi and Carmella next week on SmackDown. The winner faces Bayley. I think Naomi certainly takes that, and it probably sets up Bayley's going to beat Naomi at Super Showdown, and probably sets up Bayley and Sasha Banks WrestleMania. I hope that's where we're going. They show Otis getting ready backstage for his date with Mandy Rose, and boy, was this segment a disappointment. Rose messages him that she's running late. He asked Tucker if Mandy might like him. Tucker sure Otis is going to have a good date, so the fans they go crazy for the graphic, and later in the show they start chanting Otis, so we'll see how they do this. We'll get to that later. Sheamus kills Shorty G and Paul Cruz. Who cares about this? We go Kayla Braxton. She's looking great, by the way. She interviews Carmella. She demands a rematch and promised to be the SmackDown Women's Champion, so she wants to beat Naomi next week. They show Mandy Rose arriving at the at the restaurant, and she's wearing a stunning red velvet Valentine's Day dress. Jesus Christ, Mandy Rose is fucking hot. Holy Fuck. Jesus. Anyway, she looks insane. She's waiting for her date, Otis, and of course, I'm not a fan of the way they set this up. They show Hulk Hogan in his home at Tampa, Florida, preparing for his interview with Satellite, and they aired a video package on Goldberg's return. They showed The Fiend, and they showed Michael Cole and Corliss are talking to Hulk Hogan. Hogan has the NW. He's talking with the NWO, and he has, I think it's the Hogan Beat Shop. It's all NWO stuff. Cole asks about The Fiend and Goldberg's. And The Fiend interrupts, and then Wyatt parodies the old NWO commercials. This following is paid for by the NWO, which was hilarious. That was so much. That was nostalgia hearing that. I missed that, man. And Wyatt makes fun of Hogan, made reference to the NWO, and Wyatt, he gives chocolate to the pig, and he says he hopes it's not too sweet. I don't know. That must have went over my head, but. Hogan heard enough and told Wyatt that Goldberg's going to defeat him. And then Wyatt has a picture of Hogan. Hogan ends the interview, so we'll see. They show Otis getting ready for his date as he heads out. They showed This Week in WWE History, The Rock returning in 2011. That was a great moment. He first returned. It was exactly February 14th on Monday. That was such a fun moment. He comes back, and that was great. I remember that. I was never being shocked when he returned. They show Sami Zayn is around the ring or playing some stupid guitar. I don't care. The stuff with Elias, this stuff's just fucking horrendous. I'm so fucking bad. They go backstage. We see Kayla Braxton. Once again, she interviews Naomi. So she has to interview Bayley, Carmella, and Naomi. She wants a title shot, and she says Bayley never beat her, and I think she beats Carmella next week and sets up Naomi, Bayley, and Saudi. They show Mandy Rose continuing to wait for Otis patiently at the restaurant. They recap their romance. Then we go back to the restaurant, and then finally Otis arrives with a bouquet of red roses and a jacket with the arms are basically cut off, which looks absolutely ridiculous. And then they show someone at the table put their hands on Mandy's shoulder, and she assumes it's Otis, but it's Dolph Ziggler. And then Otis turns the corner holding the rose and sees Mandy Rose and Dolph Ziggler sitting at the table together. He's heartbroken. He drops the roses. He runs out of the restaurant. The fans booed. This sucked. This was such a disappointment. Like, damn, they built this up for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, they built this up. Really? Come on, WWE. Oh, this was supposed to be a great time. I mean, they're still going to continue it. They can go take this into WrestleMania. I suppose they didn't want to blow it off, but this could have been a really big angle. For it to end like that, oh, come on, WWE. Man, all right. So they have John Morrison and The Miz make their way to the ring. They rip into the Usos, and Michael Cole notes that King Corbin is not in attendance because he's not allowed to compete because of his actions last week. So you have Roman Reigns and LRMania against The Miz and John Morrison. They show Corbin in the crowd. Reigns and Bryan get the win. Not much to say here. Reigns hit Superman punch in the spear for the win. After the match, King Corbin jumps Roman Reigns from behind and he sits on his throne to end SmackDown. So that was how they built up the show. It was basically setting up Saudi Arabia, setting up stuff in the future. They announced next week Goldberg is going to appear live, and then they're going to have Renee Young do this interview with Lacey Evans, who they tried to build up. I don't know, maybe it's Bayley Lacey, but it seems like they're trying to push Lacey. Carmella and Naomi, the more contenders, they built that up. So basically just setting up next week. I think the whole the whole Mandy Rose and Otis thing was such a disappointment. It's like, it's all we're getting. I thought they'd be able to do more, but it was a disappointing segment. I thought the show wasn't very good. It's not a very good show. SmackDown. And I think the Valentine's Day episode is going to remember for the Mandy Rose Otis disappointment.